Welcome, everyone, to the latest episode of the Create Smarter podcast. I'm Phil, here today with Tyler and Marisa to talk about engagement opportunities at your next event. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing great.
What's your favorite thing about working here? Is it events?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Engagement opportunities at events. Events are a huge part of what we do at 5tool, and there's a huge range of things we do at events. And rightfully so, I think the place that a lot of people start when they focus on events is the main event, the keynotes, the stage, the networking aspects, all of those things that kind of really, really front and center when you're planning an event. Not to mention all the details like catering and electrical and all those big picture things. But today, we want to talk about all those little things, those margin of excellence things that go a really long way toward engaging attendees and making your event live on and really be celebrated well beyond the event. And there's a lot of them, and we've seen a lot of them be really successful. So I guess to start out, what are some of the things you feel like attendees really latch onto? Maybe not a specific tool, but when you think about experiences at events and trade shows and conferences, and you see attendees kind of having fun and it's not always just the keynote. What are some of the things you think that attendees latch onto most when they go to an event?
Oh gosh, this list is infinite, right? It could keep going on for engagement, different things. But one of the things I always say is, how can they feel seen inside of the bigger group, right? Or a part of something. So looking at, maybe it's a big giant bowl that you have to sign and put a note on there, or take a picture of yourself and post it up on the wall, or just be a part of the group even more. But for us, we do so many of these little different types of organizational things that can really help get people to just dive in and be a part of the event. So there's really not one thing that I say is oh, you've got to do this one thing. It's think of your attendees and what are they going to enjoy? What are they going to share? What are they going to post? What are they going to have fun doing at the end of the day? So, I can go through an entire list if we want to, but start there.
And we'll get into some specifics in a second, but Marisa, you spend a lot of time interviewing and photographing event attendees, and that is one of those, very easy things that you can do to make an attendee seen. How do you feel like that changes their event experience when they do get a professional photograph taken of them, or, they get the time taken for someone to get their thoughts on the event? Do you see their kind of attitude and their engagement level with the event change after you've had an interaction with them?
Yeah, it's funny you asked this now because I had a conversation with one of our clients the other day about how, sometimes when you're taking photos in a keynote room during an event, you're not going to get smiles. They're focused. They're kind of they're taking notes, whatever it might be. The smiles you're going to get when people are doing things like a photo booth or engaging with other attendees and doing those things where, they're having those little engagement opportunities to enjoy the event rather than maybe the event content itself. That's when you're going to get those smiles and the people having fun. It's all those little other add-ons that you don't necessarily think about, to your point, that is beyond the event content.
Yeah, and there's a million things to do, like Tyler said, so I want to jump right in and talk about some specifics and how they kind of change the event and add to the value for attendees and also for event organizers as well. So to start out, one of the tried and true things that we do at events and have done for a really long time is some version of the testimonial station. It's setting up a booth where people can come in and, either be interviewed about the event or, thought leaders can come in and talk about, all about a specific topic. Tyler, give me a little bit more details about what a testimonial station at an event could look like for an event organizer. How are some of the ways you've seen some of our clients leverage that kind of video booth testimonial station idea?
It's so funny because we've done these types of, video testimonial booths at, you name the type of event, whether it was a fundraising event, whether it was a networking event just at night on a rooftop. We've done them on, professional development type conferences. So it runs the gamut of the type of things that you do. But folks, at the end of the day, it's having one camera set up on one person with one microphone, and you're asking those set of people, whoever walks through the door really, the same 5 questions over and over and over again. And you could set it up in fun different ways. We've had it in a fishbowl. We've seen people do it inside of a fortune cookie where they open it up and read this. We've had folks just have cue cards thrown at them, just having fun with it. At the end of the day, events are supposed to be fun, and allowing them to, say what they like, what they love, or what they don't enjoy about a specific topic is really awesome. And that allows you as the event organizer to have a ton of content for afterwards as well. So it kind of does almost dual purposes in a sense.
Yeah, and I'll talk about one of my favorite kind of use cases here, but Marisa, you end up working on a lot of event highlight reels. When we do these testimonial stations, how does that play into what you do for a highlight reel, and what does it do to amplify, a highlight reel for an event when you have content from a testimonial station versus when you're really just depending on, footage of the event happening and keynotes and things like that? How do these kind of stand-up, sit-down interviews with attendees and speakers, how does that amplify what you can do with content to kind of promote the event?
I think it goes back to Tyler's point about how it gives the audience a say. The attendees are actually able to share their thoughts on what they like about the event, what they're taking away, things like that. So it's actually giving people the attendee point of view so that you're hearing it directly from those people rather than, the powers that be and the general organizers of the event or whatever it might be. But you're actually hearing from attendees, or I even think about, we do these things at like commencements too, not even just, like the typical corporate events. So you're really you're giving them the mic literally and saying, share your thoughts. We want to hear what you have to say about this event or this day or whatever it might be. And it really adds that different perspective.
They don't have to be serious either, right? Like you can do these and set these up in a really fun way. I mean, we've done them to the point of what Marisa was just saying. Tell us about your experience about this specific event. We've done them. Tell us about your time here on campus 15 years ago and how have things changed. And we've done all the way up to, is a hot dog a sandwich, right? Like you can have fun with these as well and make social content and quips out of them as well.
Yeah, the commencement use case is a really good one because, I think that commencement highlight reels are these things that can often feel a little rinse and repeat. It's, nice shots of the crowd and people hugging, and those are all great. But I think this is a really good opportunity to take it to the next level and pull some students aside and get some real authentic sound from them about what they're happy about and what they're going to miss from school. And like when you think about that from the client standpoint about as a fundraiser or a recruiting office for prospective students, that's the stuff, right, that gets new people in the door and gets alums donating. That's the stuff, right? The things that made someone's experience special, those are the things that you want to hone in on as a marketer and focus on for new students, current students, and past students. So like you get more value out of that than you do out of almost anything else you could do on that day.
Because it feels more genuine that way too. It's rather than, a manual saying, oh, our school is great, come to our school. It's, you're getting those students talking about their experience of the school, their experience at commencement and things like that, where it feels more genuine coming from the student or the attendee or whoever it might be.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my other favorite use cases for this is thought leadership content. And we've done it with a lot of different clients in a lot of different ways, but at an event where there's going to be a lot of thought leaders, one of the things you can do is pull them aside and ask them, each of them the same 5 questions. And it could be, the impact of, changes in the government on your industry and, trends in your industry. And really what you can do then afterwards is take sound from each of these individual experts and put it together, and each of those topics you ask people questions about become their own video that is really rich with content experts talking about it. And if you put that out under the banner of your brand, it does a couple of things. It's good content that people engage with and have opinions about, and it really shows people that if they come to your events in the future, there's going to be really smart people sharing really important ideas, and that's going to make them want to be a part of that as well. So I think that thought leadership idea, it's a really, really effective thing to do at an event. We always talk about it as the people are there, and you should really take advantage of them, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the people in the audience, our buddy Butch that we used to work with a long time ago, he always used to say, everybody in the audience has an audience, right? Which is a quote he stole from somebody else as well. But with that in mind, one of the things that's funny with it is true, right? If you're tapping into them as influencers, we'll talk about that in another segment, I know, but you're allowing those people to be kind of top of mind and be the influencers, be the ones that are actually have a little bit of a say, and it makes them feel good. So going back to the topic of this podcast, right, being what are the engagement opportunities? You're engaging with your audience, right? You don't want to just engage with the people that are on the stage. Yes, we want to hear them talk, but we want to make sure that we're actually hearing from the audience themselves and allow them to engage and allow them to spread the message as well.
Yeah, and the testimonial station's a really good opportunity for the event organizer and the brand to engage with the audience and have a ton of content for the brand to share out over time. On the other side of things, the headshot station is something we've done a lot. Professional headshots, if you wanted to hire a photographer to, come take just your professional headshots, it would be expensive. And you'd have to coordinate and find time to do it and find a space to do it. And just to do it on your own doesn't necessarily make sense unless you will have a personal brand as your starting point. If you're a regular person in a regular job, you probably don't have the budget or time to just book your own headshot. So what we've seen a lot of conferences do, especially like trade association groups or events where people, professional conferences, those types of events a lot of times are engaging us to come in and set up shop and have professional photographers take professional headshots of the attendees. Marisa, you do a lot of work on this. What's the experience like, and what's the vibe from attendees when we have this set up?
I think it's such an easy win because we're not asking anything of them except to smile for us, and we'll get them a nice headshot, and they're so happy with it. A lot of attendees will say, "Oh, this isn't something that I ever get to have done. This is great." People will come back. We're set up for multiple days at these events that we have headshot booths at. They'll come back multiple days with different outfits on. I wore my glasses, wore my hair up, whatever, and people really enjoy it. And they're like, "This is something that I'm not used to." So it's a value add that they get to walk away with that really they're not paying us. They're not giving us their email to do anything except for send them the photos. So it's a nice, easy win for us and for them.
Yeah, and from the attendee standpoint, it's an obvious win. From the event organizer standpoint, I think it's a pretty easy win as well, because we've seen people build it into their marketing to say, if you come to this event at this time, you'll have the opportunity for a professional headshot. Just like they market, there's going to be a networking event, there's going to be a cocktail party, there's going to be these different things. Marketing a headshot, that's a real value. It's going to help these people build up their professional portfolio. It's going to save them money if they don't have to do it themselves. And then also, Tyler, there's opportunities to kind of defray the cost a little bit from the organizer standpoint, because we've seen people actually get these sponsored as well, right?
One of the things I was going to answer that you had asked is, why do people come to this? And like you just said, it is so expensive to have a photographer come to your office and just do, say, 20 of your employees' headshots. When you're at a conference, you can go through, we've taken upwards of 500 headshots when we're on location. We've had people come up to us, some of the different sponsor booths, and say, this would be really great if we actually put this headshot booth in our booth to get people to come to our booth and have the discussion about XYZ topic, no matter what it is, or while they're waiting in line. Because I will tell you one thing, every time we set up a headshot booth, it is the busiest booth at every single trade show. Hands down. Every single person steps in there and takes multiple headshots, and like Marisa just said, comes back multiple days. And it's a great opportunity to have it either sponsored, co-sponsored, or say, we're actually going to put this in this person's booth so that they can drive traffic and really not even defray the cost, completely offset the cost.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. It's super popular, and it's a great sales opportunity. You have a captive audience as they're waiting, because it is always very popular. That said, move people through nice and quick and get them all the photos, and we've gotten such positive responses. You always talk about the response from attendees when you send it to them as being some of the best emails you get.
My favorite thing, honestly, is when I see an attendee reach back out to us and say, "Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this. These came out so great. I'm going to use this on LinkedIn right away." And then they connect with me on LinkedIn, even though I didn't even take the photo. They're just like, "Thank you, Tyler. Really appreciate this," because they're just excited and happy to get it. Sometimes they'll come back and say, "Hey, do you have the other one where my eye doesn't look like this, or I'm not looking down, or the chin thing?" And we say, "Yep, you know what? We've got multiple of it. Here it is. Here's the other one," and they're so happy.
Yeah, and it feels nice it feels nice to see them connect with you on LinkedIn, and you're like, "Oh, look, their LinkedIn photo is the photo that we took." So it's like a nice full circle moment.
Yeah, and I was going to say teeth whitening on demand. That's a service we offer in post. Anyway, moving on.
For headshots,
yeah. So we talk about Headshot Station as an opportunity for the attendees to then take it, put it on their LinkedIn profile, a much more in the moment kind of, viral opportunity to share content about your event is the photo booth. So the photo booth is kind of the other side of the coin of the professional headshot booth. A little more fun, a little more in the moment, a little more designed for social sharing. Can you talk a little bit, Marisa, about what's involved with setting up a photo booth at an event?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We've done a couple different events where we have the photo booth, whether it be at a school or at a gala or at a more corporate event, and I think it works in all those scenarios. And it's such an easy little setup. You have a ring light, and you can set it up in a few different ways. You can have it take one photo, you can have it make a little GIF, you can do like a photo strip almost, and it's very customizable, which is super nice for the event organizer. They can put their logos on it, things like that. But it's an easy thing to have attendees step up and take photos, and then they get their photos printed or digitally shared. And it's such an easy thing to then share out and be like, "Oh, look, I was at this event." And then we talk about sponsorship. You can get those things sponsored, and it just opens up a lot of different doors.
Yeah, and it's all fully branded. That's one of the main benefits. You can either put your event branding on it, your school branding, or a sponsor branding on it. And then, Tyler, one of the things we've done a lot more of recently is the physical takeaway aspect too, which is, a physical printout that you get to take like you would from a carnival. And people just have fun with that because it's a personalized piece of swag as opposed to a keychain, right?
Well, it's so funny because I think everybody remembers the photo booth like when you were walking through the mall, the old school photo booth or at the bowling alley, right? That you'd sit down, close the curtain with your friend and you take a couple pictures and then it would print it out. That has come full circle. Everybody wants the printed version, not just the digital version. But I will say this, the photo booth to me is the perfect way to make your event have fun. Let the people at the event enjoy themselves. Let them let loose a little bit. Take some fun, silly photos. Have some props. No one likes a prop more than this one right here. Marisa loves them. The prop closet, right? But having those things and letting people know that, oh yeah, I'm at this conference, I'm at this trade show, I'm at this event. It was a good time. Yes, I learned a lot, but I had a blast. And look at the different people that I met, and we all had fun together.
I was going to say that's one of my favorite pieces is when, there's two people that might come up and take a photo at an event that they had no idea who each other was before they came to this event. Now they're having fun in our photo booth together. And it's like a nice little, this is so nice that you can show off having fun and the fact that you networked at this event or something and you're, taking photos together.
Totally.
Last one I want to talk about here is, the most extra one, the 360 video booth. Maybe the most extra, possibly also the most fun. It's very similar to the photo booth in terms of there's a full platform set up where people can share in the moment to their social or download and share later and save with their friends. One of the most shareable things you can do at an event is the 360 booth. It's fun, it's goofy, it lets people let their hair down. Marisa, do you love a 360 booth as much as I do?
I do love a 360 booth as much as you do.
What do you see as the benefits of the 360 booth versus, a traditional photo booth?
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to a photo booth in the way that you can still get a video that you can then share online and you can have it be branded and all those fun things. But, when we have those things at like gala events, everybody's dressed up and they want to show off what they're wearing and things like that. And it's a lot more interactive and you can take multiple videos. You can get on, the platform with your friends and it's a lot more like there's movement and things like that, and I think a lot of people have fun with it.
Tyler, Marisa mentioned, fundraising galas is one of the use cases. What do you think are the best examples of places where the 360 video booth is a really good sell?
Usually at night, usually a party.
Couple cocktail bar involved,
drink or
that
two
kind
in
of
there
thing, yeah.
loosens people up a little bit because it is video. Sometimes when it's photo, they in a photo booth, they just, I can stand there once, I can stand there twice, great, I got my pictures. You gotta really let loose and have fun. So if you have a lively crowd, this is the perfect thing. I will say this, every single time we have the 360 booth up there, no one does it just once. Mm-hmm. They do it at least twice, 3, 4. There was one fundraising event, celebration that we were at that, I don't know, this one woman came up maybe 12 times throughout the course of the evening and would just bring more people she didn't know, and just had a great time with it. So the type of audience this is for, folks that enjoy themselves, want to have a little fun, want to let loose a little bit. And the comment we always get is, I've always seen these on social media, and I've never actually seen one in person. I have to try it. And that's the cool part about it.
I feel like it gives them a little bit of the like red carpet experience of like, it's not the glam bot or anything, but it's something similar. And it's something that they can kind of feel like, I'm so involved. And whether it's, at a commencement event where, students are with their friends, or it's at a family weekend event or an alumni event where people are getting back together for the first time in a long time, or people are with their families. It's just a fun thing that people really get to take away from.
Yeah, we've done it at family weekend events, and I think the dynamic there is hilarious because it's always parents forcing their kids to come do it with them, and the kids kind of act grumpy until they get to the front, and then they have all the props. It's like, oh man, and I'm like, man, we just helped them have some fun with their parents. That's cool.
Yeah.
And commencement was something similar. It's like, you're in your cap and gown. You're only ever going to be in your cap and gown once. Like, this is a chance to have a really cool video as like a memento from your day that you can't do on your own. You can't have it done any other way. Like, so a commencement, a cocktail party, at the start of a fundraising gala, a family weekend, there's a ton of use cases for it. And like you said, it's always fun. People don't just do it once. And even shy people, once they get up there, like, that was really fun.
One of my favorite experiences with it is doing it at a reunion event. And there were like these two older people, like somebody's grandparents maybe, and they did it together, and it was like one of the cutest 360 videos I've ever seen. And I was like, this is great.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. All of these things are a lot of fun at events, and if you do your event and you want to add any of these opportunities, call Marisa, call Tyler, call myself, and we'll help you get it set up. Any final thoughts from you guys on engagement opportunities at events?
Just look for those little opportunities because it's fun. Look for little ways to have fun. Everybody gets so focused on the big details, which you should, right? You got to make sure that people are fed. You got to make sure there's food and drink. The speakers are great, or the AV equipment is top notch. But look for those little opportunities that people will be talking about it later.
Yeah, I think that people will be talking about it later is a good point. You have to think about your audience and what their experience is, and not just the bigger picture content, but like what they might actually walk away with remembering, and the memories, the small memories that they may have made.
Yeah, I think just to echo both of you guys, the basics are the baseline, right? People come in expecting to be fed and to be educated, and for things to go smoothly with AV, which is a whole nother section that we could talk about in a different podcast. But the things that they're going to say, wow, that was a fun event, or wow, I want to tell my friends about this, are these little things that we're talking about. It's all that margin of excellence stuff that takes it from, oh, I went to an event, to let me tell you about that event, which is really ultimately what you need when you're organizing an event. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. If you want to talk about events with us, give us a call anytime. Go find us at 5toolproductions.com. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you, Tyler. I'm Phil. We will see you next time on the Create Smarter podcast.